current Indian education system prospects and challenges. For the first question, for a long time now, the knowledge or the content that was taught in the higher education system hasn't been updated. Moreover, the method of teaching relies more on memorizing concepts and less on understanding. For example, even during the exams, the highest priority is given to exact textbook answers. Do you believe, sir, that this methodology and content needs to be updated throughout the Indian education system so as to include more interactive concept-based learning that that interests students more?
So that's really a fascinating question to start with, but it has a lot of variables in it. The first variable I presume is about the methodology of instruction. Should we really perk up the methodology? Is it really outdated? Or are we actually following the same obsolete syllabus? Very pertinent question. Uh, but it has various answers. We can't give an one size fits all answer to this particular question. Of course, it actually depends. You see, the policymakers, the first thing is policymakers. They have been formulating a lot of new policies time and time again to revamp the educational system, to make it more interactive, to make it more fun based. And we have different kind of pedagogies, a different kind of epistemologies really coming up. So we can't just say that the methods are really obsolete. There has been a lot of initiatives taken in this direction by both the higher education as well as the national educational policies, which are really towards revamping the syllabus. Having said that, we should also take the students' perspective whenever these questions, these kind of debates or discussions, calibrated discussions takes place in the classroom. Students take on these issues. They feel that the syllabus is really obsolete. They feel that it has to be more interactive. It is because of many factors. It is because we have large classrooms and it isn't possible for a teacher to maintain that kind of one-to-one interaction. So, but as far as syllabus is concerned, we have a project-oriented learning. Nowadays, we have, as I said, new kind of pedagogies, a new kind of technologies to leverage instruction. So we are just moving in the right direction. But to answer your question specifically, yes, although the policies are aimed at revamping the syllabus, it still needs more interactive components. It has to be more practical based. It has to be more calibrated, where by the end of the course the student should go and execute, and it shouldn't actually rely on rote learning. And unfortunately that is what's happening today, because most of the content is about the cramming all the information and just presenting it. So this has to change, so that there should be some kind of an objective based teaching. It has to be more practical. As you said, it has to be more fun oriented. And for that to take place, I think we have to really, first thing is practical solution. You got to really perk up the teaching infrastructure in terms of technologies. And again, some places, the pedagogies could be really good. Again, it depends on the place. A child who, gets an exposure at the cosmopolitan places or the cities, have a better exposure. Whereas take a child who is from the suburbs, who is from the south, and who comes from villages. Unfortunately, the same child, although the same content, although the same curriculum, the delivery methods could be different, probably because of lack of infrastructure. But it's a great question to start with. If the content is really interactive, if the pedagogies are interactive, if the epistemologies drive those kind of instruction in order to make teaching more interactive and fun based, I'm sure that the objectives will be achieved. And we have a long way to go in this direction, because there should be a kind of an universalization. There should be a kind of common benchmarking to bring this kind of interactive syllabus. So there should be a kind of a common syllabus which can be interactive. So really a fascinating question to start with. Hope I have answered the question.
Sir, you've given us an in-depth insight in this question, and I completely agree with what you said, sir. Model learning is like an integrated model of learning. If we just technology alone can't also work wonders, and just the restrictive old curriculum cannot work wonders alone. But however, like you said, if we chuck their differences behind and we collaboratively make a learning environment that includes both technology and the important traditional ways of learning,